Jurassic World Evolution 3 will be Frontier's most ambitious game yet. Let's talk about it. Frontier released their January financial results, which I personally always look forward to see what we can glean. Unfortunately, this year is quite sparse. Really, the only news is that they describe their upcoming third Jurassic World game as their most ambitious yet. What does this mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Obviously, I don't know. I'm here just as a fan of Jurassic World Evolution 2, talking to you guys as fellow fans of Jurassic World Evolution 2. Ambitious is a pretty vague buzzword, and yet does come with high expectations. Especially considering that the past two Jurassic games by Frontier have felt entirely unambitious, given that Frontier is also the developer of the Planet series, which offers much more in terms of management and creative building than the Jurassic World Evolution titles. So honestly, all of the Jurassic World Evolution games, as much as I've loved them, have kind of been like watered down, low threshold versions of stuff that they've already achieved within their Planet series. Not exactly ambitious. Now, a common criticism levied against Jurassic World Evolution 2 is that it's basically the beta version of the alpha version, which was Jurassic World Evolution 1. It's basically the same game, but just a little bit better. Or it could have been a DLC, it could have been one massive update. For a lot of people, it didn't really improve enough, it didn't really push the boundaries. And something similar, perhaps even less flattering, could be said about Planet Coaster 2 in comparison to Planet Coaster 1. Yes, it takes the next step, but maybe not a big enough step. So that sort of seems Frontier's approach to sequels, right? So maybe what ambitious means in this context is that Frontier is making a sequel that's gonna push those boundaries, that's gonna take a huge leap and really feel different from what came before it. I'm literally just spitballing here. In a previous investor livestream, Frontier talked about how the next Jurassic game will have two major brand new features, as well as improve on the existing features of Jurassic World Evolution 2. If you haven't checked out that video when it came out, I highly recommend it so you're up to date on all of that. It was very interesting. I will link it at the end. And of course, if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any news regarding this upcoming game, subscribe to the channel. So far, it's all still very vague and mysterious, but I have done some speculating at the time about what these two new features might be. I consider baby dinosaurs, Cenozoics, and semi-aquatics as high possibilities. But are those ambitious enough? Planet Zoo has baby animals and semi-aquatics already. At the end of the day, all it really is more/new models with behaviors. Is that ambitious? And what about modular building? A lot of people want modular building to come to Jurassic World Evolution 3. But is that ambitious, considering that Frontier is like the expert at modular building games? Again, ambitious is such an open to interpretation word, and I want to caution against letting it get your hopes up too high. This is a presentation meant for investors, not consumers, so they're just trying to make themselves look good to the people with the big checkbooks. Planet Coaster 2 didn't launch to the greatest community reaction, to say the least, which has me a little concerned, and maybe the investors as well. But still, it's fun to think about what ambitious might mean. Let me know in a comment what you think might be particularly ambitious about the next installment in this gaming series. By the way, the report still does not officially confirm the title nor the release date, which is still slated for financial year 2026, which runs from June 2025 to May 2026. Since they say they want to leverage the brand awareness that comes with a new film, a release date close to the premiere of Jurassic World Rebirth makes most sense. But as I've said before, this is not guaranteed. Interestingly, in that investor livestream I mentioned earlier, they say this.
And what we want to do with the third iteration of a Jurassic game is we want to leverage that brand awareness. I think what's really quite exciting is coming out in the same year as when this film's coming out. So Universal now announced that it's going to be called Jurassic World Rebirth, and it's still scheduled for the 2nd of July.
Note how they say they intend to release in the same year, not specifying that they aim to release close to July when the movie comes out. Since they missed their chance to announce the game at the Game Awards in December, and there's no big game event in the coming weeks to get the most eyes on an announcement trailer, I'm considering it a possibility that the third game won't come out until later in the year, perhaps November, which is a popular month for Frontier to release their games. This is a theory I first talked about right after the Game Awards, and I will say that the longer it is taking Frontier to finally start marketing their game, the more I am considering it possible, emphasis possible, that the game is trailing behind the movie by quite a bit and could get announced as late as Summer Games Fest, repeating the marketing cycle and launch schedule of Jurassic World Evolution 2. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. Again, I think a launch around the movie is still the most likely course of action, but this is just food for thought and a reminder not to panic if we don't hear any news soon, as it might just be coming later than expected. Finally, I want to highlight that this third Jurassic World game is, once more, referred to as a CMS game, a creative management simulator. Lots of people seem hesitant still to believe that the third game will be a CMS game, and I'm not sure why, as Frontier has been clear since before we got wind of this new game that they've refocused on CMS games, and you see it here in a lineup of 3. Maybe this ambitious game will be pushing the boundaries of what a CMS game is, but it will still be, at its core, a CMS game. Let's hope I have more actual news for you soon, but I did want to give you this tiny crumb just to reassure you that Frontier is still cooking behind the scenes on this upcoming game, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to be sharing the whole news cycle and of course the future park builds with you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, we gotta make that hype train go ourselves.